How do you think rotating guys on the offensive line is a thing that's going to go forward, or would you rather?
Yeah, I think as of right now, just kind of keeping everyone involved, keeping the competition up. I think that's been good for us as a unit.
Are you thinking that you saw enough from Sean that you'd like to give him more than just one series, or is that still kind of the plan?
Yeah, I think we'll just keep working him in, when we feel is right. And that's not a knock on what Runyon's doing at all. It's just to get him going and just see what he can do. So, yeah, I think so.
Their whole identity is built around being a really physical, tough team.
Yep.
And in that last game, they got the better of you guys in that way. How do you approach that for this one?
Yeah, no, their defense is very physical. They're an excellent unit. They play extremely hard. Their front is good, big, fast. They got a lot of good tools. So for us, I think one thing that we didn't do a good job on the first game is we got off schedule a lot. We were in a lot of long yardage situations. We weren't productive on first and second down, so we couldn't be in those third and manageable situations. So we definitely just need to stay on track and just make sure our offense is efficient. It's going to be a tough task running the ball. These guys are pretty stout against the run, so we just got to stick with it and just make sure that we stay on schedule and put ourselves in good third and manageable positions. And when we get opportunities to make plays down the field, we take advantage of that so we can get in the red zone.
Do you have to adjust a lot schematically without Musgrave and going with the other guys?
Well, a little bit, but no. I mean, Luke definitely adds a piece, but Tucker's very capable. Ben's coming along. So, yeah, there's some things you probably won't do, but for the most part, we can kind of keep rolling what we're doing.
What have you thought of Tucker? I mean, we obviously had the big play last week, which
Yeah.
was the first one.
It was awesome seeing him do that. He looked super explosive on the sidelines, made a really good play. It would have been awesome if he could have kept his foot in bounds right there. But, no, I think every week he's kind of just been getting better and better and better, and he's gotten more playing time and more opportunities. So it's gonna be really cool to see him, just take the reins and be the guy.
If DeGore can't go, can you function with two tight ends? Or you're going to have to bring someone up from practice?
Yeah, we're still kind of seeing what the situation is with Josiah, but yeah, we have a plan for that.
When Luke hurt his ankle, Matt kind of ruled him out at midweek, thinking he wasn't going to be able to play, and then obviously he did.
Yeah.
Having internal injuries is slightly different, but the fact that he was able to finish the game, I mean, what have you kind of thought of him overall, and did you find something new about him?
Yeah. When that went down, he looked us in the eye after the game. He's like, "I'm playing next week," and we're like, "Okay, we'll see," And he ended up playing the next week. So he loves football. He's tough. He's made of the right stuff. So those are the guys that you really love having on your team because he's going to do whatever he can to play on Sundays for sure.
In September and October, you called a couple of gadget plays that looked great. If somebody made a catch or whatever, but it broke the ice. The timing was great. But I was watching Sunday and I thought, Love's at the point where he can handle unscripted. You almost don't need to call those anymore, right? Do you have that?
Yeah, no, he's definitely made some good off-schedule plays for sure. Getting through the line, seeing down the field, hitting receivers off schedule. And that's been a big difference, in our offense, just making those off-schedule plays and then receivers just getting the ball and getting more yards and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of good growth from Jordan in terms of that, of just making those unscripted, unscheduled plays for sure.
Adam, what makes Hutchinson so tough to handle?
He plays with great effort. He's obviously got all the tools that good defensive ends have, where he's got the length, he has the explosiveness, but he plays. The guys that are really good play really hard all the time. And we've played a few of those guys this year, where like the T.J. Watts, the Max Crosbys, the Hutchinsons, where their effort is relentless every single play, and that's how he plays. So no matter what, you're going to get his best. So we got to come ready to go.
I asked Matt this earlier. I don't know how many times you and him said it takes all 11, or the other 10 guys have to help Jordan. Every single one of those young wide receivers had a catch on Sunday. 2 of the 3 tight ends did, obviously. can you sense that those guys are just getting it more and are just vibing with the quarterback in a different way than they have?
I absolutely can. It's been fun to watch, like, just these guys playing around each other more, being around each other, the communication that they have on the sidelines and then at practice. And you can just tell the guys are starting to get it. They're just understanding things better and playing faster and just making plays. So, it's been great just to see all that.
On the flip side, and I know, you probably aren't going to have Wicks with a concussion, you're not going to have Luke, but from a coaching perspective, have you and Matt and the rest of the offensive assistants gotten a better idea? It felt like you had to search for, what can we give these guys? What's too much to give these guys? And what was that process like to try and figure out what's best for them?
A lot of trial and error. It was a rough process, but no, it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, the more banked reps these guys get, it's not every game plan. Oh, you have to re-coach the same things and re-coach the basic things, and it's like now you can kind of get to the next level and coach the more complicated things that are actually going to happen to them, or the adjustments that can be made. We've made some pretty good adjustments on the sidelines, just getting some big plays off of what the defenses are doing. So things like that where you can have these conversations with the guys and know and have the confidence that they're going to go out there on the field and be able to do it, because at some point you don't want to overload these guys. But now, as we keep getting into this, we're seeing that these guys can handle more and more. So it's been fun to kind of be able to do that.
Along those lines, with Jaden Reed, he looked like he was a pretty large focal point of what you guys wanted to do last week. What you were talking about before, was there a lot of trial and error with him, or did he come in rather polished that he could kind of handle some of the stuff right away?
Yeah, he came in, obviously you see his explosiveness, his receiving ability, his, just getting the ball in his hands, him making plays. But there's always, you don't want to put too much on his plate, because then you lose some of that when he's thinking too much and stuff. So it's been good to just kind of ease him into it like we have. So hopefully we can just keep rolling with that and just get him the ball as many times as we can.
Adam, why the rotation of snaps at left tackle?
Again, just to kind of keep the competition up. Both guys I think have done a good job. So it's just keeping them involved. And, we trust both of them in there to play at a high level. So just, again, just to keep that competition level up.
Do they know what series they're going in, or do you just say, hey, you're in now?
No, yeah, we give them a plan before the game. Typically, we'll let them know.
But you were a lineman, right? I mean, how would you have liked that? Pulled out every series or two series or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's on one side it's great because you could be on the bench and now you're playing, so you're involved in the game, kind of like a wideout where you're playing and you might not be starting, but you're still in the rotation. So I think, I think it just keeps the guys involved. And Rashid and Yash, they're two guys that they need every rep they can take, and it's good for them just to go out there and compete.
After the game, Jordan said that the touchdown to Watson was kind of drawn up in the dirt, and then Matt said that it was, John Dunn had noticed something. Can you explain how logistically that happens? Because there can't be many. I know you guys have to adjust on the fly to different things, but you're not usually drawing stuff up. So
that's exactly what I was just talking about earlier, where a couple weeks ago we probably wouldn't have been able to do that because we haven't practiced that, for a couple weeks or whatever. So it was just one of those things where hey, this is what we're seeing. This is the adjustment. Talk it over. All right, everyone good? And they're like, yep. And we went out and executed it. So that's kind of the growth that we're getting as far as guys just being able to handle that stuff on the sidelines and then go make those adjustments.
So it's a variation of a play you already have in your playbook for the look that was, and you just tweaked it in real time.
Yeah, just one play that we may have had in a different game plan down the road. But hey, you guys remember this? Yep. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and you go out there and execute it, and that's what it looks like.
Because it's not just Christian that has to run the right route. Obviously,
right. Everyone else has to do the same. Have to be on the same page for sure.
We've all been to, I think everybody in here has been to a road game where you guys win handily. and by the end of the game, the stadium's emptying out. There's Packers fans behind your bench. What's it like being on the other side of that, like it was against the Lions in Week 4? Does that stick with you at all, or?
Oh, it certainly does. Yeah, we had a bad taste in our mouth after that one for sure. But every game's a new game. Good motivation for us to go out there and play our best and go have a happy Thanksgiving.